Hey up and welcome to another episode of the Rugby League Outsiders. My name's Craig.
My name's Karl.
And this week we're gonna launch the Super League. Really excited for this.
We're launching Super League from Bridge North.
100% we're launching, yeah. We are so excited, our Sky subscription's been bloody mothballed all winter. I barely watched anything on the TV, and here we are now on the precipice of Super League starting again. So really excited for the new season. What about you, Karl?
Oh yeah, and me. It's back in it. It's finally back out of our league, and my wife's just going. I just can't wait to have rugby league on every night of the week on TV. she just can't wait. So yeah, that and the fact that we're doing everything else with the Rugby League Outsiders, it's going to be a busy rugby league year for 2024.
Yeah, it's going to be non-stop. By the way, if you didn't watch our live broadcast on Tuesday, this is our anniversary week. We started this podcast a year ago this week. It just absolutely flown by, and some incredible opportunities. A lot of that is thanks to you guys as viewers and listeners, and sharing comments, inviting us to places. It's just been an absolute blast. So before we get into this episode, Karl, anything to say on that?
No. Yeah, no, I'm only joking. No, it's been a spectacular year. This podcast has done so much for me that I it's got me places to go I never thought I'd go. I've met people I never thought I'd meet, and I've got just a great network of friends through this podcast. Just people I've just kept in regular touch with. It's great.
And just like this episode, in reality, we're just getting started. So, that's what makes it even more exciting.
Yeah, watch this space.
Yeah. Okay, so this week, what we're going to do is we're going to look at the season ahead. We're going to look at the upcoming fixtures. And normally what we're going to do is as the season progresses, we're going to do a standalone prediction, but we thought we'd throw it all together and just get this episode out on Thursday so we can all sit down and watch the games as they air on TV.
Yeah.
And every game is on Sky. Every game is on Sky this year.
Every single game's on TV, yeah. If it's on Sky, Super League Plus, BBC, or wherever else you get your rugby league fixtures, everywhere this year, and it's great. I can't wait for it. Itching to get going.
Yeah, and the natural place to start is with the signings from this year. So we did a little bit of scouring on the old Tinterwebs, and we found the incoming players from all the clubs. If we can just go scan our,
I think we can go through them, can't we? As we go through each fixture, really.
Is that how you want to do it?
Yeah. Who's your standout? I'll throw this back at you. Who's your standout signing for this year?
I don't know. I mean, a standout signing.
Shall I tell you who mine is?
Go on.
Sam Burgess. And he's not even playing. It's just that's just a great story, isn't it? The big man himself, he's back in Super League, and it's going to be really entertaining to see how Warrington get on this year. And there's a lot of pressure on him. A lot of pressure.
Yeah, I think it's a pair. The signing came as a pair from Salford, Brodie Croft and Andy Ackers, to Leeds. Really exciting for me because last year was a bit of a washout with Blake Austin and Aidan Caesar. Never really clicked, but they promised so much, having played in Australia before years ago. So I think that's my standout signing. I also like the idea, and I'll be keeping an eye on one of Catalan's big signings. Where's my Catalan list?
Right at top.
Jayden Nicarima. I don't know why his name just, I'm just drawn to him, and I think he's going to have an absolute belter in the south of France. So they're the two signings for me. Any others stand out for you?
Matt Moylan at Lee.
Yeah.
Cronulla Sharks, legend. Lee had a great season last year. They really punched above their weight, and now they brought in a big signing like Matt Moylan. Yeah, can't wait to see how that goes.
So stay tuned. We're going to run through the fixtures, give our predictions, and then we're going to give our season predictions to see, who we think, based on nothing other than just, two blokes in a back room in Bridge North.
Do not be going to the bookies making your bets on what we say, because if you watch this when we did it last year, experts we are not.
Yeah, so that's our little disclaimer there. Right, so let's dive into it. First, the first fixture is a Hull derby. Hull FC versus Hull KR at Hull FC. So what's your prediction, Cal?
Oh, yeah, the dull derby. You got to kick off Super League with the dull derby, haven't you? I mean, no, I actually think it's going to be a cracker. One of the teams I'm really looking forward to watching this year, Hull KR, I think.
Yeah, agreed.
I've got them. Well, we'll do our tables at the end, who we think's going to finish where, but Hull KR, for me, are going to be one of the teams of the year.
Yeah, no, I completely agree. You know, they tore it up last year. Really exciting to watch. Hopefully they'll back it up with Willie Peters at the helm. So, who do you reckon is going to
win? Hull KR for me all day long, mate. I'm going to throw something else out here. Tony Smith will be in the running to be one of the first coaches to get sacked this year.
Ooh, hell, you're going all out with the predictions. Honestly,
that's what this bit's all about, isn't it? Just making wild,
wild guesses. Clip it, get it on the internet, and just create a storm like you freaking did before with Jared
Sammet.
No, agreed. Hull KR, I think, are going to take that. I think Hull FC have recruited some good players. I think Hull KR will just be a little bit too exciting, and I think, despite the home advantage, I think Hull KR is going to win that. So, we agree on that one.
So, Gildart in for Hull KR, AJ Wallace from Bradford, Tyrone Mays in from Catalan, and the big story, Mikey Lewis, absolute cracking international, didn't he? For England last year. I can't wait to see him build on that, and I think Hull KR are going to be exciting to watch this year, especially in that pink kit. We're going to look great.
Yeah,
play great.
Completely agree with all of that. So
you said Hull FC have made some exciting signings. I don't think they have. I think they were uninspiring last year. I don't think they've done out for a couple of years now, and they haven't brought anybody in that's made me go, oh, wow, yeah, Hull FC are going to be up the top end of the table this year. I'm not buying it.
I think you're right. Looking at the list now, there's recognisable names.
Yeah.
Could you say that they're on form, the form players, and they're absolutely tearing it up? No.
They brought in a couple of lads from Canterbury Bulldogs who I don't know too much about. We'll see. Maybe they've made some signings, gone through the back door that we don't know too much about, and they've found a few gems in the rough. But for me, they're just uninspiring at the minute. All FC.
Yeah. Okay. So moving on. The next fixture, Friday, 16th of February. The first game on Friday is Leeds Rhinos versus the Salford Red Devils.
Really? Yeah. So you've said it, haven't you? Brodie Croft, Andy Ackers, the two. Are they the missing links in Leeds Rhinos' armour that's been missing for the last couple of years? Again, another team, last couple of years, last year they were neither here nor there, were they?
No.
I'm going to say the two Leeds will either be really good next year, they'll finish top 4, or if they don't start well, I'll give Rowan Smith 8 games. He'll be down there with Tony Smith for one of the first coaches to be sacked in 2024. I
agree. My mouth is watering though, thinking that they think they might be white hot this year and finish top 4. Hopefully they will. I don't want to make a prediction because I did last year and it was shit. Really interesting game with the backstory there. I'm going to go for a Leeds win, but I do like watching Salford. So I'm going for a Leeds win on that one. Karl, what about you?
Oh, it's going to be a close one. This is. Is it at Headingley? Yeah, it's at Headingley. So I think, yes, I think Leeds will win. I think it'll be very close. But I do also like the look of Salford this year. So they have lost 2 big signings, but they brought in Nenny McDonald, Ethan Ryan, great try scorer. Cade Cust also has gone to Salford. So they were good last year, Salford. They've been building for the last couple of years, and I think Salford will be up there again this year. I think they'll be competitive. A close game, but I agree with you. I'll go Leeds.
Okay.
But we can't agree on every game because...
No. That's not interesting, is it?
No.
Okay, next one then. Also 8 o'clock, Sky Sports mix. Lee Leopards versus Huddersfield Giants.
The Lee Leopards. So it'll be our first chance to see Matt Moylan play for the already good Leopards. Signings this year, I ain't looked too much at who they brought in. No, so they haven't made any sort of real noticeable signings apart from Matt Moylan, who's coming from the Cronulla Sharks. But, you know, Lee are building on something, aren't they? They were good last year. Not a massive influx of players that have left the team, so it's quite a steady ship. And they've strengthened a bit. They'll be up there. They'll be up there this year. Yeah,
I completely agree. Be interesting to watch how they kind of pan out over the season. For me, my prediction, I've got Lee Leopards to take the win.
And me. And here's my other prediction. Right? Third coach who's going to be under fire, Ian Watson. I'll give him 8 games. If Huddersfield don't perform at the start of this year, I think he'll be another one in the firing line.
Really?
Yeah. They were just... There was nothing from him last year, was there?
I don't know.
They've brought in Thomas Deakin from Sydney City Roosters. I don't know too much about him. Adam Swift, Savelio from Hull. There's nothing there that excites me. They've lost Will Price, who's obviously gone to he's gone to the NRL, to Newcastle Knights. There's nothing much that inspires me about that Huddersfield team there. And they weren't great last year. McGilvery's now gone, aren't they?
Unceremoniously.
Yeah, they was served, played for 20 years or whatever, and then they kicked him out at back door. Yeah.
Okay.
Lee win.
Yeah, we've both predicted Lee to win that one. The third game on Friday night is the Saints against London Broncos. How are you calling this one?
Oh, London win easy, mate.
Right.
No, I think London are going to be in some trouble this year. They've not really brought many players in. They haven't. I think it's quite bad to say, but I think London have kind of accepted the fate a little bit before the season's even kicked off. It's, people have said that they're going to be getting relegated regardless because of how IMG grading is this year. So it doesn't really matter where they finish in Super League this year. And unfortunately, I can't see them doing much. I think they'll be there for the wooden spoon.
Well, it's definitely a tough game to start with, straight up against the Saints. Of course, I'm going to go Saints to win that game. But I'll be rooting for London. I want to see them kind of compete, regardless, and play for some pride.
Yeah, I hope they do. I hope they turn into the giant killers, and I think that's the thing, isn't it, with London? Actually, everybody writes them off all the time. They were wrote off last year, and look what they did.
Yeah,
they were wrote off in the £1 million game against Toronto a few years, and look what they did. So hopefully, London have got some secret weapons in there that we don't know about. But I just think it's going to be a difficult season for them. But St Helens, on the other hand, how do you think they're going to go? Obviously, the GOAT, Roby, he's now retired. How many 1,000 games under his belt? However many, he's been playing there forever, hasn't he? So Saints have got a transition this year. Be interesting to see how they go without him in the team. So they brought Darryl Clark in, who's a good player. He's not James Roby though, is he?
No, he's not, but he is an industrial hooker, and hard-working industrial hooker. And, I'm not saying he's of the same ilk as Roby, but I think he'd definitely fill a hole, and then there's other class around him. So I don't think they'll miss Roby quite as much as people would expect. I think they'll do okay this year. I think they'll do very well this year, and we'll come on to that later on. So do you think with London that they got promoted so late that they've no players to pick from?
Oh yeah, it must have been incredibly difficult for them to last minute, getting promoted. And I think that is one of the problems with promotion and relegation. You get promoted, all of a sudden you're the last in the queue to start signing players because you don't know what your budgets are until the last minute and all the rest of it. Yes, it's going to be difficult, really difficult for them.
Yeah, and finally on London, like not many well-known players there. I know names don't exactly make winning teams, but you kind of scan over the names there, and there's not many that kind of stand out.
No, I think they brought Hakeem Maloudi in, haven't they? Who was in Super League a few years ago. Exciting player, so it'd be good to see him back on British soil.
Okay, moving on to the Saturday then, 17th of February. First game on the Saturdays, Castleford Tigers against Wigan Warriors.
Yeah, so the good news for London is Castleford are in the league.
That's getting clipped.
What can you say about Castleford? There's been absolutely loads of players outgoing, and there's loads of players incoming. Who knows what sort of team Castleford are going to have this year? But there was a lot of Championship players. There's a lot of Queensland Cup players been brought in. We'll see. It's but I don't think they're going to stand much chance against Wigan. I'll put it that way.
Yeah, I think we both agree on this one. I've got them down a substantial win for Wigan there. I think Wigan is going to be the domineering force this year in Super League again, and they're going to be hard pushed, and they won't be pushed by Castleford on game one. So I'm going Wigan.
Yeah, without doubt, I'm going Wigan. I mean, you only got to look at how good they were last year, and it felt like winning the grand final were only just the start for Wigan, and then you look at who they brought in. Cruz Leeming from Gold Coast Titans. Luke Thompson is in. He potentially might not even be starting Luke Thompson there. The pack's that strong. He's going to be coming in off the bench, but from Canterbury Bulldogs. It's just that Wigan side is just class throughout it. And, I think they'll make easy work of Castleford, and then it'll be on to the big game against Penrith. Yeah, I can't wait for that one. Which is a sellout.
Unless they kind of rest a few players with one eye on Penrith, but is that Wigan's way?
Are you going to rest somebody out first week at season? Nah, even if you are playing Castleford at the Jungle, it ain't going to happen, is it?
Right, well, we'll see. Okay, on to the next game. Then
We've agreed on every one so far. This must be must be a first.
Yeah, it is. We'll see on this one. So we've got Catalan Dragons versus Warrington Wolves. So how are we calling this?
This is the difficult one, isn't it?
Yeah.
Out of all these fixtures, this is the real difficult. So Catalan, they've lost a lot of players. Noticeably, Tompkins, Mitchell Pearce, Tyrone Mate. They aren't easy players to replace.
No, so much experience.
They brought in Farge and Nicarima. Yeah. Jordan Abdul is probably one of their big signing, isn't it? Interesting to see how he gels with that team and how he settles in the south of France. But I've got Catalan. I ain't got them doing nowhere near what they did last year. I don't know where you've ranked them this year.
Well, I'll tell you now. I've got Catalans to win that.
Right.
Why do you say it like that?
I haven't made up my mind.
Well, you need to. Because, you can't listen to me and then make up your mind based on what I say.
Well, fine then. I'm going Warrington.
I thought you might.
The Burgess era begins.
Yeah, you're a massive Burgess fan and you're letting your heart rule your head there. But it's Catalan. It's in Catalan's bloody backyard, and that's a hard place to go and play, especially on game one. I think Warrington Wolves still got a lot of shaking out to do, regardless of who the head coach is. So I'm going for Catalans there. Might be a narrow win, but I think Catalans will win it.
Right, well, I'm just for sake of we can't agree on everything, and I want Warrington to win this one. I want them to go to South France, kick Catalans to the floor, and get the win under Burgess, and the big fucking story begins. That'll be turned into a film in years to come.
I hope.
It'll be like Gladiator 2.
I do hope so. Russell Crowe, his mate, so I hope so. Okay, so we've looked at the fixtures. We've done our predictions for the season. So for the first round.
Yeah, for the first round.
So if we can do our predictions for how the table's going to finish up, then how do you want to do this? What's the best way to do this?
I'll go first then, and I'll start bottom to top.
Right.
Yeah. So 12th.
Yeah.
London Broncos.
Agreed.
Fighting that out with Castleford Tigers.
Yeah, agreed. Shall I tell you what I agree with and what I don't agree with? And work up the ladder together?
Right. Well, no, I'll do
okay,
mine.
all right,
I'll
all
do
right.
mine 12-1, and then you can do yours. Right. 12, London. 11, Castleford. 10, Hull FC. Going to have a bad year this year. 9, Huddersfield. Ian Watson, also for the chop by the end of the season. 8, Catalan. I've got them right down in 8th. Yeah. That's I just can't.
Well, you think Mitchell Pearce and Tyrone May, you reckon they made that much of a distance?
And Tompkins, and there's others. They've had a big exodus of players. I don't think they're as strong.
Gudemon to Leeds as well.
Lee, 7th.
Right.
Salford, 6th. Warrington, I've got just making the top 5, but don't think they'll finish any higher than that. Leeds, I've got in 4th this year.
Thank you very much.
Hull KR, 3rd.
Yeah.
The surprise team I think they'll be pushing this year.
I hope so.
And I think, Saints 2nd, and I think Wigan will I think Wigan will be too strong for anybody this year.
Well,
but I hope not.
We're quite close. And I wonder if people watching this have done their predictions and what they think, whether they agree, disagree. You've got people in different places. But this is how I kind of see the season unfolding, right? So here we go. Number 12.
Yep.
Sorry, London. Number 12. Cass, 11.
We agree. That's 2.
Hull FC, 10.
Oh, bloody hell.
Huddersfield, 9.
So far, matched the...
This is where it changes. 8, got Salford.
Right.
I then think it's going to be Wire, 7. I think they're going to be 5, 6, 5, 6, 5, 6. End of the year, going to drop down to finish 7.
Right.
Which will allow Lee to be number 6 and Hull KR 5, Leeds 4th. To be honest, that's a bit of a heart. No, I think... I'm very hopeful of that. But there's certainly strong enough players in Hull KR, and Lee and Wire to knock Leeds off. So that's really, really in contention. I think Catalans will be 3rd. Saints 2nd, and Wigan absolutely storming. And I think...
Where did you have Hull KR?
Hull KR, I've got 5th.
Okay.
I think Wigan may wrap this competition up in record time. If everything pans out like the way we expect. So...
You never know with injuries, do you?
No, you don't know. They've picked up a couple of injuries already. I see some of their forwards are already kind of struggling with injuries. So, like I said, you don't know. But there's so much depth in that squad. Yeah,
right. Last question then. Who do you think is going to be Man of Steel this year?
This is a really tough one, being, the expert that I am. But this is what I'm going to call it. I'm going to call it... Can I have 2 possibilities?
Go on then. I'll give you 2.
Right, so there's either, to set the scene, either Bevan French will double up.
Right.
Or a previous Man of Steel winner will win it again. Darryl Clark.
Nah.
I'm telling you. I think he's got all the makings of a fucking blazing season.
Right, I'll go with mine. I'm pinning all my...
You're not having 2. You're not having an option.
No, I'm going Hull KR, massive season. Mikey Lewis.
I knew you were going to say Mikey Lewis. It's a good shout.
When you watch a player who's like just come up, I think he's going to hit that golden season this year. And I hope he does, because that'll make Super League so exciting. Yeah,
he's an absolute class act and a joy to watch. You know what I mean? He riles the crowd up. He's equal parts arrogance and
plays with modesty. His heart on his sleeve as well, doesn't he?
Yeah, he does. And the standout clip is that kid in the crowd. Have you seen it where he's got the try and his arms out? Absolute standout clip. I just want to do a little bit of an announcement actually, whilst we, when we finish off the thing. We've got something new for this season. Carl's come up with these Tryline treats. Okay, so a little bag of sweets. Now, every podcast episode, we're going to give you the opportunity to win a little bag of Tryline treats. So this week,
fully branded up.
Yeah, fully branded up. You got your sweets in there. Where are the sweets, Carl?
Oh yeah, I haven't filled them yet.
Oh right, you got to fill them yourself.
Straight from printers, then.
But they've got Sirloin on there, the Rugby League Outsiders podcast mascot. Who's a year old. Who's a year old this week. So we need a bit of a question for this to win the Tryline treats for this week.
Oh, It needs to be a question about this week then, doesn't it? Like about one of the games this week.
Okay, so here's the question then. So in order to get your hands on some of the Tryline treats, okay, the question is, and it's closest wins, all right? All you need to do to enter is post your time in the comment section on YouTube, okay? So stick them on there. No other platform will count, I'm afraid. So stick it on YouTube. It's the closest. At what minute will the first try of the season be scored? All right. So the closest to the actual, time will win the Tryline treats.
I'm going first. 8 minutes.
8 minutes.
8 minutes in. Hull KR are going to score.
Mikey Lewis.
Not necessarily Michael Lewis, but and that'll start the drubbing for Hull FC.
Right, I think it's going to be a little bit longer than that. I think they're going to be feeling each other. Oh, or is it? Or is it? You can just imagine it, can't you? Was it Ben Crooks that bloody scored within like 40 seconds?
Yeah, was that a magic weekend or something like that?
Something like that. It was an absolutely mental try. I'm going to go 9 minutes. I can do that.
Cop out. That's all right. Cop out.
All right. Okay.
Go on. You can have 9 minutes because I'm confident.
Okay. Well, so I've got 8 minutes. Wrong. Carl's got 8 minutes. I've got 9 minutes. Anybody else wants to come along and take 10 minutes, then they can do that. Thanks for watching this week. Same episode. There'll be another podcast episode next Thursday going out at 6 o'clock. And don't forget our live broadcast every Tuesday where we cover 6 interesting news stories, predominantly from outside the Heartlands. Anything to finish off with, Karl?
No, and another team to announce in the Midlands Nines next week on the live show. Yeah.
Oh, nice one.
It's filling up quickly.
Yeah, it is. Okay, so until then, take care. That's the final whistle for this week's episode of the Rugby League Outsiders. We hope you've enjoyed it. Don't forget to follow us on social media and share this podcast with your friends. And as always, if you have a story to tell, a club to plug, or a player that deserves recognition, we want to hear from you. So until next time on the Rugby League Outsiders, take care.